You're here, I'm queer, and welcome back to my channel. Is this another Halle Bailey Ariel doll? Yes. Will this be the last Halle Bailey Ariel doll? Probably not. The obsession with Halle as Ariel continues in this two-part video where I finally make her human form. I currently have two live-action Ariel creations as mermaids, so I figured it's time for the human version. As always, I wanted to merge the live-action with the animation and hopefully create a beautiful harmony of both worlds. This video will focus on her village dress, and part 2 will be her princess dress, so make sure you guys check that out after this. Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to Kara for supporting my channel. You guys have heard me mention them before. I love integrating Kara's vitamins and supplements into my daily routine, and I think you will too. We're staying happy and healthy in 2023 thanks to Kara. Check out the link in my description below and use my code HEXTIAN50 for 50% off of your first order. Of course, for our doll, we will be using the Mattel Halle Bailey Ariel doll, and this is her in the mermaid form. And for the body, I will be using a made-to-move Barbie. I think this is the soccer player or the yoga Barbie. I'm not so sure, but this is the closest in terms of skin match that I have. I do prefer, I think, the soccer one, which is what I used for the mermaid version. This one is just a little bit more warmer tone than Halle's face. Of course, let's go ahead and remove this beautiful Barbie head, and we will be doing some body modifications. We are going to be cinching in her waist. Clothing specifically on doll scale will add a lot of bulk. So yes, we're just gonna do a little bit of a body modification here. To temporarily adhere both bodies together, the torso and also the legs, I'm using some wire. This will act as our spine, just to frame it and everything, so we have the structure correctly. Let's go ahead and take our epoxy clay and mix 2 equal parts together, and this will cure over time, maybe like 24 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this for our modification. You may also use the rubber band boiling water technique. However, I feel like that one is a little bit more unpredictable, and I have a very specific kind of shape in mind when it comes to like the corset look for her. So yeah, but definitely the rubber band and boiling water is also applicable for this. As you can see, I also sanded it out, and it looks really like satisfyingly smooth. So let's go ahead and paint it. I chose pink because obviously she also has, you know, a princess look, and I feel like if I use like a black color, it might rub off on the pink gown. So I wanted to prevent that, so I was like, you know what, pink it is. And that's pretty much it for the body modification. Now let's go ahead and work on her face, my favorite part, and let's remove that and take off her hair and prep her up. So this one is, for some reason actually on camera, her hair looks really red, but like the realistic red, you know? So yeah, it's actually really nice. But do you guys know me? I like the fire engine hair, so we will be rerouting her. And because for some reason these live action dolls actually have the pixelated printing factory paint, it is a little bit more difficult to remove even if you're using acetone. So Like, for her hairline, it is perfectly easy, but the actual eyes and lips and makeup, they are so difficult, so you kind of have to scrape it off, and that is what I'm doing here. For her hair base, we are using red for the yarn, so I just want to cover her entire scalp with red paint. And here are the yarn that I will be using. It is the same exact yarn combo that I used for her mermaid form. I want it to be almost the same exact vibe. So we will be rerouting with this one and unraveling it. So yeah, you want to make sure you start with the perimeter of the head. Depending on the hairstyle you're gonna go for, when it comes to natural hairs like braids and locks, you kind of want to be mindful because a little bit goes a really long way and it becomes really, really thick. With that, I am able to kind of play around with different hairstyles, half up, half down, a ponytail, all of it down, and I'm able to kind of switch her parting. So just be mindful of that. But as you can see, it has, she has so much hair, which is great. But, we need to secure it using Fabri-Tac. You want to make sure you do that, or else these yarn will literally come apart, and you want to give it some time to completely dry. And one by one, I will be unraveling all of the yarn. I specifically adore the twist look on my Ariel dolls. I feel like it is, they are thinner looking and a little bit more defined, and I just love the subtle wave that it also gives. That's just my preference, but you guys can definitely keep the yarn intact if you would like, but I just like to separate it. As you can see, it is longer because when you unravel yarn, it becomes longer. I definitely trimmed off a lot of pieces because she looked like Starfire, which is a good look. But for Ariel, I wanted to look a little bit more thinner and not as full hair because we are going to be styling her differently and everything. So yeah, I want it to be very, very versatile. And of course, I cannot make an Ariel doll without doing the hair tinsel, so I will be covering every single yarn with red tinsel. You guys know I love tinsel so much. It is a lot of work. This took me 3 days. I didn't film all of it because I feel like it's not necessary, but she looks so freaking good with hair tinsel, specifically the red one, because it is very subtle, but it makes such a big impact when you see it. As you can see right now, she has all of the right highlights in her hair. It looks like glitter. It looks so magical. And voila, we're pretty much done with her hair for now. We are going to be styling it later. As you can see, she looks absolutely magical. I love the red hair. This is the red hair that I really, really love. And I like how you can change her part from middle part to side part to no parting. It is a pretty versatile hair, and it looks really, really good. It can look really relaxed and just casual. We can make it look really formal, and overall I love this so much. I covered everything up because we cannot mess with the hair, and I sprayed her face with Mr. Super Clear to prime it, and now we can take our watercolor pencils, our pastels, our paint, and give her a beautiful face up. And again, I'm not a realism expert. I definitely prefer stylized faces. And for my mermaid Halle Ariel doll, I gave her the side eye look, which is so, so cute and playful. But for this one, I made her look forward. I feel like that was a good variation to have in terms of, my Ariel dolls, because I literally have 3 of them. So the looking forward was, I thought it was kind of cool. And I'm literally doing my best to emulate the same face that I made for the mermaid version. There are going to be key differences, but for the most part, I try to make it look the same. So yeah. If anything, the makeup on this one is gonna be a little bit more dramatic, maybe. I noticed that when I was giving her the makeup, I felt like her eye like shadow was a little bit more darker and a little bit more kind of diffused, which I thought was really, really cool because, you know, I want this to look kind of like a more glammed up Ariel and have it a little bit more formal looking. So yeah, it was really, really fun. I cannot give enough props to Mattel for creating this face mold because it is literally like perfect as Halle Bailey. And I know that the Mattel face mold is still very, very stylized. Like, it's not ultra realistic, but it makes sense because obviously dolls, like, they're not realistic. So, kind of like with the Disney store, when they make their realistic head sculpts and they're too realistic, it doesn't really match sometimes the doll's body. So I really like what Mattel does with their stylized face molds, and I feel like you can get like a really cool animated Halle Bailey look with all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much the vision, you know? I want this doll to have a little bit more of a smile look, so I am painting in a little bit of grin, like cheek wrinkle here and there, just so it looks like she's smiling a little bit, you know? I initially did give her red lipstick because I was like, oh, you know, it's a little bit more glam and everything, but I ended up changing it back to like the more nude, like a pinky nude for her, because I felt like that made it look more Halle Bailey, and it actually kind of made it more modern and contemporary. I always love to reference Halle Bailey in the red carpets, and she usually rocks a really, really beautiful pink shade, like a nude pink shade on the red carpet, and I was like, I love that. That is everything. And also, I wanted to keep her lips matte. Again, I'm really trying to emulate a more contemporary Halle Bailey look with my human Ariel. I don't know why, but I feel like it just matches the vibe so much more. She's like not underwater anymore, so I feel like her lips is like matte now. It's not shiny, it's not wet. So yeah, overall, I really, really love like where this space is going. And of course, to give her some life with her eyes, we need to give her some catch lights and also some tear ducts highlights here and there. And of course, for her lower lashes, we're just using some black pencil, and I tried my best to kind of make it look a little bit more diffused and not as like graphic. And of course, we can't go wrong with a little bit of highlight. I did control myself this time. I was mixing copper, gold, and also pink for the glitter highlight, and I only put it on her high points, you know, not everywhere. I tried my best to, you know, pull back. For her lashes, I actually wanted to just draw them on, kind of what I did for my Margot Robbie Barbie look. I thought that was great for this scale, and because she's not like a drag queen, but I was like, well, I gave my mermaid look real lashes, so I'm like, I can't not give this one real lashes, because obviously this is her princess look, this is like her village look. Like, I intended this to have the makeup glam look, so I'm like, I feel like we need to add the lashes. And of course, they're not gonna be like this. I will be trimming them, so don't worry. For her earring, we are just using some pearl and also pins over here. I just feel like that is totally apropos. I really wanted to create a specific aesthetic for my Ariel's village dress and drew a lot of inspiration from Rococo bodices and Elizabethan farthingale skirts. This is the concept I drew for her village dress. You guys know I just prefer the drama, the layers, and the structural silhouettes, so I want to give her iconic village dress all of that. And this dress was made possible by Sorry Gotta Sew on Instagram. They did such an amazing job with everything, and I can't even fathom how they managed to make the corset and also the dress. Like, I can't believe it's a reality. I mean, look at this top, look at this corset. They just look so cute, and I love how the top actually has a little bit of glitter in there as well. So I like a little bit of magic. And I just love how soft and delicate it looks. It's just amazing for me. And everything is tied back with a ribbon, which I thought was really cool. And this corset is to die for. I do wish that it was a lot more pointier in the very end. I am obsessed with everything being so pointy and very structured looking. But like, my gosh, like the grommets in the back, like it's amazing. And this skirt is like, I cannot even believe it's real. And I love the petticoat underneath, and I love how like the shape of it is just so graphic and very like Elizabethan and farthingale looking. I'm just obsessed. For her shoes, these are definitely contemporary, these are definitely modern. I'm using Model Muse pumps. In the animated version of Ariel, she was wearing black heels. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna give her black heels. So, she's gonna get black heels. Black stiletto heels with red bottoms. For her bow, I am making it from scratch, and I am using black. For some reason in my memory, whenever I think of her bow, I thought it was always black, but actually it is like a very light blue, which I thought was fine, but I definitely prefer the black bow. I feel like it will put everything together, it will match the shoes, and I don't know, I just feel like it is so much better. And this is probably one of my favorite bows that I've made because it just looks so fluffy and chunky, and I put a pin underneath so we can just pin it in her head. And now it's time for her hairstyle. I played around a lot with her hair, and I didn't really want to give her the typical like animated hair Ariel. I kind of wanted to give her almost like 1940s victory rolls, like very vintage style, but also it can look very historical as well. So this is what I came up with. I just twisted both of her hair up into a half up, half down, and it creates kind of like a heart shape. I am so in love with this look. I feel like it works perfectly with the village look because, you know, they're exploring the city, they're exploring the village, and I feel like her hair needs to be out of her face. And now it's finally time to dress her up. This is such a favorite part for me. So, yeah. What did you guys think of the overall costuming for the live-action Little Mermaid? I don't really mind the dresses she ended up with. I thought that was a cute addition, but I do miss the sparkly magic dress, you know, that she gets in the very end, and also her iconic wedding gown. Like, it was just 80s all the way, you know? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. For her nails, I also dabbled in giving her red nails, but then it looked kind of orange on her. So I was like, I feel like the peachy nude nails is also very like cute. It matches her lips, and it will match anything that she will wear. because it's like very neutral on her. So yeah. I also decided to give her some rings, and over here is I'm just painting gold rings on her. I don't know what happened to the footage, but I also gave her a pearl ring for her right hand. And now we just have to highlight her body, and we're pretty much done with our village girl Ariel. Make sure you guys check out part 2 of this video to see her all glammed up and princessy.